Let's take a look at our highlights from Wellington Armageddon 2022. Villa Varykino, living the Star Wars life. Hello there, and welcome back to the Villa Varykino YouTube channel. So I'm going to be taking a look at some of our highlights from the Armageddon Expo in Wellington held in December 2022. This was our first time going back to Wellington Armageddon in some years. We haven't been for a while, and it was held in a new venue since the last time we went. It was held in Sky Stadium. So this was kind of a new experience for us. We were keen to see what it was like in this new venue. To be honest, it's a little bit mixed, but we still had a great time. First off, we checked out the New Zealand Droid Builders booth. This was really fun. We are fans and droid builders ourselves, so it was really fun seeing the droids that were on display. I'm always a fan of the robotic droids like BB-8. Definitely want to add that one to our collection. Chopper, and of course the classic R2-D2. It was really fun talking to our friends and getting inspired to build some more droids. Next up, we stopped by the 501st and Rebel Legion booth to check out the Star Wars costumers there. We're friends with a lot of these guys. They're always at every Armageddon convention, so it's great to see the wide array of Star Wars costumes. Lots of stormtroopers. I thought the booth was really well set up in this location, and personally, I really like to see how many Imperial officers we have here in New Zealand. I made my Imperial officer way back. It was my very first 501st costume, so it's really fun to see more Imperial officers in New Zealand. There were some fabulous Star Wars costumers walking around the convention as well, and some really fun costumes in the cosplay parades as well, which was really fun to see. Things from Star Wars, Critical Role, Harlequin, and Poison Ivy. That's always fun. I really do enjoy the cosplay parades. It's always a full house. You have to get there early to grab a seat because these are really popular. It's a great way for people of all skill levels, all ages and sizes to show off their costumes, whether you've bought it or made it yourself, whether it's homemade or professional sort of competition level. It's a great way to kind of have your moment in the spotlight and show off your creation. I especially loved Benny from The Mummy. That was a costume I don't think I've ever seen done before. I thought that was so much fun. That was a real nostalgia hit. A fun find in the sort of booth dealer hall was Cameron Percy Antiques, who had a fabulous array of Star Wars items. Now, we hit this one by accident, and honestly, we couldn't believe our eyes. It's been a while since we've found a booth with just this much Star Wars product available, and we were sort of a bit gobsmacked. We were digging around, trying to find what treasures, and we found some great pieces for our collection. So it was shoulder to shoulder here. There were tons of people digging through. And I found some pieces that I wish that I had made up my mind sooner about. I thought I grabbed the pieces that I knew were must-haves, and there were a couple else on my wish list, and I was like, I'll do a loop around the convention and come back. And of course, I should have known the pieces that I had on my sort of second list had gone by the time I'd come back. So lesson learned, if I see it and I want it, make sure I don't let go of it, because yeah, I'm gonna have to track that one down, because now I'm like, oh, I should have just grabbed that first time. But anyway, really excited with the pieces that we did find. We picked up some vintage pieces, some carded figures. It was really great to see just a lovely array of Star Wars product. There was Gentle Giant and Funko and vintage pieces and vehicles and Hasbro pieces. It was just so much fun. We were not expecting to find this, and honestly, it was such a highlight. There were lots of Star Wars fans digging through. We saw some very happy customers leaving with some armfuls of vintage product. There was just so much stuff to dig through. We really hope that they turn up to other Armageddon conventions. Another fun booth that we came across was this fabulous sort of artistic one that they had created all these resin sculpted skulls decorated up like pop culture characters, which included Star Wars. There were ones that sort of looked like Yoda and Darth Maul, and other fandoms like Iron Man and Batman. It was really quite fun. I don't know that I would have gotten this home in my luggage. I think you'd have to sort of pack them very securely. I think they're possibly ones to buy at a convention closer to home. Another booth had these sort of laser etched wooden kit set models of Star Wars vehicles. Now these were really cool. I quite like them. They had some really big ones all the way down to some small ones, so something for every budget and every display space. Kyber Forge was there with a great range of lightsabers and some other little trinkets like little Kyber crystals and Star Wars pins. So if you're in the market for a lightsaber, be sure to check them out at Armageddon. They have ones that are great for dueling all the way up to the very fancy ones with all the sort of bells and whistles in there, you know, the very accurate ones, all the ones with sort of a more low profile hilt that are very comfortable to hold if you want to get into lightsaber fighting. And amongst the booths around the convention, we have fun seeking out and seeing what sort of Star Wars products we can find. There were board games, things like musical pins. That was a new one. I almost wanted to get one just to see what kind of music it played. It was like a sort of a cool scavenger hunt, seeing what we could find. Star Wars socks at the usual place with the big t-shirt wall. These were the licensed wooden Star Wars model kits. Of course, Poster Works was there with their normal range of Star Wars posters and doormats. We do need to pick up a doormat. And at the American Candy import stall, they even had Star Wars candy. That was really quite fun. Of course, themed on The Mandalorian and Grogu. Fandom Jewelry had a fun range of Star Wars jewelry, earrings, necklaces, and pins. We even found some Sabak playing cards at one of the sort of the card merchant stores. At a booth selling sort of fandom baby gear, they had some onesies decorated with Star Wars characters. I really want to try that new Clone Wars game. And this range of Star Wars playing cards, the packaging is just so pretty with that vibrant metallic foil. I want to get them just for the packaging. And honestly, I need to get into puzzles more. I enjoy puzzles a lot as a kid. I got to find more time as an adult so I have an excuse to buy more Star Wars puzzles. One of our highlights from Armageddon was the fact that actor Cary Elwes was attending. Now, we don't often get such big names down here in New Zealand, so this was a real highlight for us. We are big fans of The Princess Bride and, of course, many of his other works like Twister and his recent stint in Stranger Things. He was an absolute pleasure to meet, and of course, he had to sign his autograph as you wish. That was really fun. He was such a gentleman and just so lovely. We sat through his panel. It was such a great show. It was so lovely to meet him. Another highlight for us was the RPG Alley, sponsored by BD&D. So we always see the RPG alleys and the sort of the role-playing sections at every Armageddon, but we hadn't taken the time to sort of sit down and play. So this Wellington RPG Alley was sort of in a nice quiet section off to the side, sponsored by BD&D, Chaosium Inc. and Wayward Masquerade. And they have this kind of booklet with lots of information if you're a newcomer about sort of role-playing games and local communities in New Zealand where you can find other people to play with, which of course is important in this day and age. So they had lots of resources, lots of friendly people to help and introduce you to the concept of role-playing games, answer any questions you might have. And they had a range of games that you could sign up to play. Each of the games sort of had different themes. A lot of them were homebrew fun games. Each one ran for about 2 hours with about 6 players. And we decided to play Coven of Cats. So this one is a homebrew campaign where you play sort of magical cats solving a local mystery. I played a very pretty sorcerer cat, and Matt played a very cute little bard cat. So we got sort of little player tokens that we could keep, character sheets, so you didn't even need to really understand how to set up a character or anything like that. You just picked a cat and jumped in and started playing. And I thought that was a really fun way to get new people into playing Dungeons and Dragons. And for everyone that came along to the end kind of wrap up, they did a bit of a prize giving. So everyone that didn't win one of the major spot prizes got given a mystery dice bag. So my dice that I got are this clear set that has a little gold Eiffel Tower inside, which I thought was very pretty. And Matt's dice set was a swirly blue and white dice set. So that was really fun because, of course, if you're going to play Dungeons and Dragons, you need yourself a nice, good dice set. So I thought that was really fun and a lovely sort of quiet way to spend some time at Armageddon if you want to take some time off your feet and get into some geeky roleplay with friends. So that's about it for our trip down to Wellington. Of course, on our way out at the airport, we had to stop by and visit Smorg the Dragon, this huge, big, life-size display at the airport. So thank you so much, Wellington Armageddon, for being such a fun weekend away. We're very much looking forward to next year, and may the force be with you. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like, check out our other videos, and subscribe for alerts about new uploads. Thanks for watching, and may the force be with you.